Okay, let's get to it. So we are talking about how to write a motivational speech. And this is an 8-part series. And remember, today we're starting with find your motivational stories. All motivational speeches have one thing in common: stories. You have been through stories in your life, things you've gone through, trials and struggles that have helped you become the person that you are today. These are valuable stories that you get to share when you give a motivational speech. Now, everyone goes through different trials, right? Even though they're different, a lot of the things at the foundation of the trial are universal, and everybody or most people can relate to them. So as you start collecting your stories, you're going to be able to identify the ones that have a universal appeal or a universal lesson, and the ones that will be the most effective at reaching the people that you are here to serve with your motivational speech. So how do you choose the right stories? Here is my number one rule. Only choose stories that you have healed from. Do you understand what I'm saying? If there is a story that is not done yet, that you're still going through, don't use that story. It's not time yet. That story gets to wait until you have finished the journey through it. You need to choose a story that you have already finished the journey through and you are fully recovered from. Now, I've heard this referred to as speaking from your scars, not your wounds. So your pain needs to no longer be an open wound. It needs to be a healed over scar. When it is at that point, it is safe to speak on, because otherwise it's going to be really hard for you to be objective and to maintain emotional control. How do I know this? I have seen a speaker recently who was telling a story that they were not finished going through. In fact, they were kind of at the worst part of it still, and did a presentation about this topic, and they told this story. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was awkward and painful and not motivational in any way. In fact, we all were like, are you okay? I mean, it was really bad energy. So don't do that. Don't speak about something that you have not gotten over yet. Okay. It's super important, you guys. All right, next, start a story file. Everything in your life that happens during the day is possible story material. So what I like to do, based on this book that I'm not done yet. It's really good. It's called Storyworthy by Matthew Dix. I'll put the link in the description. You should definitely read this book. He talks about keeping a story file, and I already had my speaking clients doing this. So I was really excited when I heard that he says to do this too. So every day before you go to bed or at some point during the day, just go through your day and think, was any moment today story-worthy? Could I at some point maybe use that experience in a story in the future? And then just write down a brief synopsis. You don't have to write out the whole story, just so that you remember it. And then someday you will probably come back and use it. And it's really good to have this whole collection of story files. You can do it on a spreadsheet. You can do it in a Google Doc. You can even do it in a notebook if you're sure you won't lose your notebook. I lose notebooks, so I have to use Google Docs or I will never see it again. All right, so also get Storyworthy by Matthew Dix. It tells you how to find your stories and how to tell them. Oh, such a good book. All right, so that is my best, what do you call it? Oh my God, my best